Hello and warm welcome. My name is Boyd Young with Higher GI. Today we're at the Cobham campus in San Diego.
I'm Alex Moresh, and I'm a VS3 production manager here at Cobham.
Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for working with Higher GI. We really appreciate what you're doing with Cobham and recruiting veterans. Can you tell me a little bit about Cobham, what you do, and what is Cobham? What is the company?
So Cobham Advanced Electronics is a company focused on providing high technology products for defense contractors, including microwave and radio frequency systems for defense as far as missiles, aircraft, and naval weapon systems. And we do that with a lot of our local customers here in the San Diego area. And we do all of the manufacturing here and work with our customers to design and provide technology solutions for the Defense Department.
Excellent. Now, you've been recognized as a military-friendly employer. What are some of the initiatives that you do for veterans to make Cobham military-friendly?
So a big part of what we do to bring veterans here to Cobham is to provide an environment that, one, is conducive to the transition out of the military and into the civilian workforce, and provide a support network that allows them to be successful as soon as they take the uniform off and transition into more of the suit and tie area. We've begun a veteran support group here at the San Diego site, which is focused on making sure that as veterans transition out of the military, they're given opportunities and have connections here for people to speak their language and can bring them into the civilian workforce and make that transition as smooth as possible. And we do a lot of local events with military bases and other recruiting potentials for our candidates to make sure that everybody in the area knows that Cobham is hiring veterans and we need their skill set.
That's excellent. Now, you're a veteran. You served in the Army. How many veterans work at Cobham?
So as of right now, we have over 120 veterans from across service branches that work here at this site. It's a little over 10% of our workforce is veteran, and we're looking to grow that as soon as we can.
Veterans are big on training. What are some of the trainings that you provide on Cobham for new hires, people that are joining Cobham? What do you do to get them settled and trained up?
So the great thing about Cobham is we have opportunities for anybody coming into the civilian workforce as far as skill sets. We have the technology side and the technical side. For those employees who come into the workforce here, we have a 2-week training program that makes sure they are skilled and trained to get on the manufacturing floor and hit the ground running with some of the skills they had in the military, and then we refine those here. And then all of our other areas as far as supply, equipment maintenance, operations, things like that, we have a mentorship program that makes sure they're linked up with somebody once they arrive, and they get a little bit of OJT on the job training to get them hitting the ground running as soon as they arrive.
That's great. Now, you had mentioned some of the skills that veterans bring. What skills in military personnel do you really look for?
So the great thing about military veterans, and I've said this time and time again when we look to hire veterans, is the drive and the dedication, the professionalism and the initiative that veterans bring from the military into the civilian workforce is something that we value greatly here. The technical skill set and some of the other stuff that we train you on the job here is something we can teach, but we really, really love what veterans bring to the table as far as their professionalism, their teamwork, wanting to be successful and make a difference here. The added benefit is that Cobham works a lot with defense contractors in providing equipment and technology to the military, so people who leave the service can also give back to their brothers and sisters in arms by providing the tools and systems that they use on the battlefield. We manufacture that here.
Oh, that's great. What's the company culture like?
So having been here a little over a year, I can say that this is probably one of the more teamwork focused companies that I've seen. We focus a lot on cross-functional training and making sure that the people on the assembly floor, the engineers, the human resource department, everybody here is working together as a team. And you see that day in and day out as people come together, they decide how to solve a problem. They realize, hey, I can work with you to get this done. Veterans are very good at doing that because we do that naturally in the military, for me in the Army and all the other service branches. That mindset that I had in the military translates directly into the culture that we have here of teamwork, making sure we're all working towards a common goal, and that drive for success. You know, I see it every day in the veterans on the floor of how much they want to see us put out quality product because we know where it's going to go. It's going to go into aircraft and missile systems and other weapons platforms and technology that the military uses. We want to make sure that it's the best going out the door.
That's great. Now, I've heard about your apprenticeship programs. What other initiatives do you provide to your new employees to help them advance in their career?
So a lot of what we do right now is focused on developing internal candidates. We'll bring in people from the outside, and once they're in Cobham, we make sure that there's a platform for advancement and potential for promotion in the company, because what we do is a bit unique in the industry as far as the technology that we develop and the products that we produce. And as people learn those skills here and they learn our technology and they learn our systems and processes, we make sure we pair them up with other people of equal skill set so they can receive additional training, become qualified in other processes, and by doing so, it provides obviously us as a company better resources internally, but it also gives every individual an opportunity to advance, and you're never limited by where you are right now, because there's always a potential in other areas of the company or continued up the ranks for you to contribute.
Yeah, that's great. It sounds like you can make a good career out of it. It's not just a job.
I would say I've seen some people that have been working here 20, 30 years.
Wow.
And that have never once left the company because, one, they understand how important our mission is. Two, they love the culture and what they do here. And three, that teamwork aspect.
Yeah.
I've seen people here that have worked in the same area for 20 years, and when I ask them why, it's because they say, I love what I do, I love the people that I work with, and I know how important my mission is. And so they've developed themselves. I have some assemblers on the line and some people in the operations team that I work that I recently celebrated 35-year anniversary for how long they've been here at the company. And I think that speaks volumes to how much people enjoy what they do here and how much they know how important it is.
That's great. What are some of the benefits? What keeps them here? What packages do you have for your employees?
So obviously, through our human resource department, we have all the standard, the health, the medical, the dental, the 401k plans. We have a lot of other programs, 980 work schedules and things like that for some of our employees. That is part of the benefits, and that's more of the tangibles. I can say one of the biggest intangibles is the culture, is the teamwork that we have here. I've seen veterans come out of the military, and as soon as they got on the line, they realized, one, how many other veterans are working here and how good it feels to have somebody that you have that camaraderie with already. And the teams that we build here are designed around producing systems and products that support the military in the field. And that intangible pride that people feel in knowing that what's going out the door is going on an aircraft that could be flying overseas in a week, or it's going on a naval vessel that can protect sailors on their ship. Things like that keep people here and keep people wanting to be part of this team, because it's a very particular profession that we have supplying the military. And having been on the line 10 years in the Army, I can tell you how important it is to know that what we're putting out is protecting my brothers and sisters in arms, and I take great pride in doing that. I know every other veteran on the line, every employee who hasn't served also feels the same way about the product we put out and the systems that we employ.
That's great. It sounds like there's a lot of great programs. Now, you had mentioned teamwork being very involved at Cobham. Are there individual projects, and how do you recognize individuals and teams?
So the great thing about what we do here is a lot of our programs can be individual-centric, but the majority of them are dedicated to a team. And we make sure we always recognize both the individuals who are putting that extra effort in and also teams as a whole. We have systems in place for quarterly recognition of our individual employees and teams through monetary bonuses and things like that. But we also spend a lot of time focusing on the teams, planning social events, making sure that we recognize our accomplishments, because a lot of the people, everybody here at this company puts in that extra 110% effort, and we want to make sure we reward all of that, because we recognize how important it is to have teams that want to push harder than the average person, and everybody on the line has demonstrated a desire to see this place succeed, and we spend a lot of time making sure we recognize both the individuals and the teams that do the work.
That's great. How do I go online, or can I apply in person? What's the application process like?
So our human resource department has put in place a great and robust hiring system. I can say the best way to do it right now is to go to our website. We'll put the link at the end of this video, and you can apply directly there. Our recruiters are standing by. I can tell you right now, we're interviewing as we speak. And I can tell you that the veteran community that I've spoken to, this is a outstanding opportunity to work for a company like this if you're a veteran. Number one, you know the mission. You know what you're going to be providing that's coming out our door is going into the hands of the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, everybody, the Air Force, everybody else is going to be receiving this equipment. And you know how important it is, and how important it is to see our brothers and sisters succeed in the field. And the teamwork and the initiative and the drive that our employees demonstrate is the exact same that I've seen in the military. And that transition to hang up the uniform, to put on a shirt and tie, it is head and shoulders so much better here because of the support network that we put in place for people leaving the service, because we know it's hard. It is difficult to leave the military and to transition into the civilian workforce. And our mission is to make sure that that transition is as smooth as possible. And I can tell you, I've spoken to countless veterans here who understand that every day we're getting better, and every day we're working to make sure that the veterans leaving the military have an opportunity to continue to serve their country to a certain degree and have an environment and a team and camaraderie spirit that is almost the exact same that I felt when I wore that uniform. So if you're out there, come on board. We'd love to have you, and I can't wait to see more veterans come through our front door.
All right, Alex, thanks a lot for your time today. Appreciate everything you're doing. Thanks for your service.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thanks for taking care of our veterans.
Of course.